When was the last time you played a fishing game? I'm talking about a real fishing game.
Fish! Wow, record size!
And no, Stardew Valley doesn't count. If you asked me if I was ever going to play a fishing game in my entire life, I would have said never. Dredge, however, is an exception. For whatever reason, it's a title that's surprisingly recognized. I myself, however, had no idea what it was about, what the appeal was, and I didn't even know it existed. Because, it's a fishing game. Realistically, who plays those these days? Who cares about a boring game where you just fish? I mean, come on. That's like paying money to watch paint dry.
Welcome to watching paint dry, the game.
That being said, Dredge came as a pleasant surprise, not only in its execution, but in its oddly alluring mythos. If I was going to describe Dredge in one word, it would be atmospheric. When you think of a fishing game, what do you imagine? Save here. Now I want you to throw all of that out of the window and replace it with an exploration horror adventure fishing game. That's a fake ship, that's a fake ship. That's a fake ship. Oh fuck. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh, that's why it does that. The fucking anglerfish. You'll never find anything like it. Dredge delivers on immersion, engulfing you into a world of mystery, sadness, and even dark humor. If that interests you, then I invite you to plunge into Dredge's depths as we succumb to madness. Join me as we head into what was disguised as a simple fishing game turned horror, as we explore one of humanity's greatest fears, the unknown. This video contains major spoilers, so you have been warned. Dredge's greatest aspect is its atmosphere, like I said, and there's a lot to unpack here. You feel a sense of dread every second you play, and it's easy to get immersed after a while. The crashing waves against your boat, a piece of metal. The constant reeling of fish. And the lovely siren of an incoming ghost ship in the oblivion. Okay, as it turns out, you inevitably run into trouble as you dive deeper and deeper into the game. Most of the time in Dredge, all you'll be doing is, well, fishing obviously, but it's the feel of being more than a simple fisherman that's so well delivered. It's about being a lone adventurer at sea where you're nothing but a slave to the ocean. It almost reminds me of something special that you may have already played. Zelda the Wind Waker for the GameCube. Ring any bells? Grandma, weird green guy, and taking 1,000,000 years to find Triforce shards. But I digress. That's a video for another time. Many times you'll find yourself stranded in the middle of nowhere, but fear not, because being lost is just a common formality. The true journey is where Dredge's heart lies. It's the unknown that drives the game forward as you sail towards often uncharted territory. You begin to grow anxious as you travel from island to island, making you wonder, what mysteries lie waiting to be discovered on each island? What lies in the darkness as you drift away from the comfort of the nearby lighthouse? At first, it's overwhelming, but bit by bit you become more daring as you step outside your comfort zone. And I like that about Dredge. It doesn't hold your hand and makes you understand that not every game has to be objective-driven or linear in design. Dredge gives you the freedom to explore the ocean as you see fit, and oftentimes it feels liberating. What I enjoy most about Dredge are the Lovecraftian themes built into its story. It's almost suffocating. From catching bizarre, otherworldly fish, going insane from prolonged darkness at night. What the fuck? Whoa. This world is against me. To downright sacrificing fish in the name of an unknown entity. There are also weird monsters that become set pieces in each area you explore, making a seemingly lonely world feel more alive. Oh god. Oh shit! Oh shit! What the fuck? Oh shit. It definitely feels inspired by the Lighthouse movie in a way.
Let Neptune strike ye dead, Winslow!
The actual fishing you do is nothing more than a minigame, and honestly, it's a bit mediocre, which is surprising because that's the brunt of the gameplay. That isn't to say the game itself is mediocre, I'm just acknowledging that for a fishing game, the actual fishing isn't the star of the show, which is ironic. Or at least not the entire picture. Dredge by all means is a beautiful fishing game. Every aspect of it molds into a vibrant yet dark world, which is what makes it so alluring. And like fish to bait, I couldn't help but take a bite. Oh my god, what the front door? What the if reeling out varieties of fish, playing Tetris with your inventory, and fighting off large sea monsters wasn't on your bingo card, then think again. Small luxuries like reading books to pass the time and upgrading your boat add a sense of progression and makes the journey more bearable. Different engines help travel more quickly and avoid obstacles. Various reels catch more rare fish depending on the environment and location. Improved lights help navigation at night and help your sanity. Even your storage can be upgraded because Tetris. Although progressing your boat is essential for survival and in itself a form of progression, the actual progression comes from finding artifacts. In Dredge, your main goal is to acquire these strange artifacts scattered throughout the map for reasons unknown, but they do progress the story. This is important because it serves as the story's main focal point in that each artifact brings more answers, more memories. But as far as best laid plans go, the artifacts only spark more curiosity, especially since they provide eldritch powers. Each artifact acquired grants you a new ability, most of them being especially useful for the notoriously dangerous and albeit annoying section near the end of the game, Devil's Spine. This place sucks! Throughout my time in the world of Dredge, it demonstrated this cold sense of isolation as I traveled gathering these artifacts. Warmed only by the sunlight of short days and helpful strangers, it helped me realize that Dredge was better than any other fishing game I've ever played. Probably because it was the only fishing game I've ever played. Another important asset is time. Time in Dredge progresses from traveling long distances or by catching fish over and over, and it passes by quicker than you think. 1 minute, you'll find yourself catching some squid, and the next, you're engulfed in darkness. Again, beware of the darkness because you have a sanity meter. And the longer you stay in complete darkness or hit weird obstacles, the faster you lose your mind. What comes after is for you to find out.
I don't like where this is going.
I know it's weird saying that the actual fishing in Dredge isn't exciting, but there are definitely other things to look forward to. I personally liked catching different types of fish and fighting off bosses. That being said, however, there are quite a few mysteries to be solved and answers to be left to your imagination, or worse. The real stars of the show in Dredge are the characters you meet throughout its entirety. Many of them desire different things, and some just want to be left alone. Throughout my time though, I found myself yearning for more of these connections you find because seafaring is utterly lonely, and you do happen to find some rather quirky characters. But the payoff for each character is there once you resolve their stories, and it's wonderfully satisfying. Honestly, I enjoyed the little moments from each part of the game. It made it all worthwhile to help a stranger in need, especially in a dark world. I remember meeting a photographer, an angry brother, and even a crazed fanatic which sold the Lovecraftian themes. Oh, and there's an ancient lighthouse at the end of the game for your movie reference. I feel like if Dredge lacked all of its characters, it would be devoid of any life for that matter. In conclusion, Dredge is a love letter to H.P. Lovecraft, and I believe that Dredge is a deeper metaphor for what humans harbor within themselves. Life is a journey. You set sail with no goal, no direction in mind, and only the wind to guide you. You may meet some people, even enemies, but you'll make connections nonetheless in a world that is empty. There will always be storms to conquer, battles to pursue amidst the raging tide known as chaos in our lives. But after each confrontation is an overwhelming calm that harbors a light within each of us, a solace that helps further enlighten us and directs us like lighthouse. It's until we've inevitably reached our journey's end that we find out what makes life worth living. Now, I could be talking out of my ass, but Dredge made me feel something no other game has, besides Undertale. And that's saying something. I found that Dredge was more than a fishing game, and it was an experience I didn't know I needed. It's simple, but full of charm, heart, and equally dreadful fear for the unknown. My only issue is I wish there was more of it. And the price tag of Dredge is a bit steep given that it's only 10 to 15 hours of actual gameplay for $25. In a market so dominated by remakes and ripoffs, this title is definitely worth the trouble. Nonetheless, it's a great game, and I figured out for myself as to why people enjoyed it so much. Dredge helped me find its meaning and put the wind in my sails again. No one in their right mind would have thought to make a fishing game in our current generation. Not even me. At the end of Dredge's line comes up a deep, enriching story experience that is memorable. A tale of a man losing their loved one is a story as old as time, recaptured in a modern setting. Dredge doesn't use words to evoke emotion, but raw feeling. It's been a while since I found a game that plotted a different course than the industry may suggest and just run with it. And you know what? It worked. But I digress. The real message of Dredge rang deep within my very soul. The story of grief and hardship. So let me ask you, what would you do to see your beloved again? Would you wander the world forever in lulling purgatory? Would you move mountains and sacrifice the world? Or would you finally move on? I know what I would do.